In 2011, Hogan made a little bit of a special release, a box with 5 aircraft, all of Azerbaijan Airlines, and today we will take a look at one of them. And with that, hello and welcome to this new episode of Review, where we today will take a closer look at an ATR72 of Azerbaijan Airlines. As mentioned, this box set contains 5 aircraft models and we will review all of them over the next couple of weeks. At the front of the box we find this image of the aircraft model inside, and underneath that we have the Azerbaijan Airlines branding. The front can also be opened up and that reveals us these cutouts, so we can also get a glimpse of the aircraft models inside. On the back side we then have a listing of key moments in Azerbaijani aviation history. That is quite nice, except for the spelling, because that is definitely not how you spell president. And here she is, the ATR72-500 in the former standard livery of Azerbaijan Airlines. Now there seems to be a little bit of a mystery regarding this aircraft. On the aircraft model it is specified as an ATR72-500. However, the airline received their first ATR72-200 in 2007 and they were active until 2013. And as far as I have been able to make out, the airline has never had any ATR72-500 in their fleet. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to solve this mystery, but it could also just be a mistake of Hogan. After all, Hogan is a subsidiary of Herpa. But perhaps some of our viewers can solve this mystery in the comment section below. Until then, we will start our tour around the aircraft model with a look at the tail section, where we on the vertical stabilizer have the Azerbaijan Airlines or Azal branding. For an ATR, we also have actually quite decent detailing, not just on the vertical but also on the horizontal stabilizer. On the fuselage we then find the supposed aircraft type specification. Above that we have the 3 letters specifying the origin of the airline, but we don't have any registration code on this aircraft model, and that is the case for all models in this box. Also missing on the side of the fuselage is the APU exhaust, but towards the very tail of the aircraft we do have this little printed detail, which is where the strobe light would be sitting in real life. At the front of the aircraft and across the fuselage we then have the writing of Azerbaijan, and we have the Azerbaijani flag as well as the cargo hatch. The cockpit section itself doesn't offer us too many details. We have the cockpit windows, but that's about it. However, I do actually quite like the mold. That they have done quite well, and also when we look on top of the fuselage we can also see the emergency hatch for the cockpit has been printed on as well. Then we can take a quick look also at the engines, and they are of course consistent with an ATR 500, so at least they have been consistent with that. The detailing itself is actually also quite nice. We have a little bit of printed details, that's quite nice, and of course, just like with any other Herpa model as well, you have this little feature that you can move the blades. Also quite nice here on the side is the addition of the emergency exit that has been printed on, and that leads us to the wings, which we should also take a look at here on the top side. I mean, it looks okay. I mean, it's pretty much what we even would get today from Herpa wings, so I don't think we can really fault it here. The underside I think looks pretty fine as well. The landing gear itself, well, that's the old generation landing gear that also Herpa used for their ATRs. Of course, today we have an updated version of that, but I actually think this is pretty alright. Perhaps not the most sophisticated work, but decent. So there we have it, the ATR72-500 in the former standard livery of Azerbaijan Airlines from Hogan in scale 1 to 500. And what can we say about this aircraft model? Well, first of all, I mean, there is the question if this shouldn't be an ATR72-200 rather than a 500, but at least from the model itself they have been consistent in kept it as a 500. What is also a little bit disappointing is the fact that this, just like all the other models of this set, do not have any registration codes. I think it's not a big catastrophe, but it just adds a little bit to an aircraft model when it does have a registration code. It makes it more authentic. But the model does have a surprising amount of details in the print, and the print quality itself is also excellent. And the physical detailing, and especially the mold here, is actually also really good. Yes, it does have a little bit of a weakness with the horizontal stabilizer being a slightly off angle, but that can be different from model to model. And I mean, that's quite typical for Harper/Hogan. So overall, I think it is actually a quite nice little model from Harper Wings and definitely suits the set overall. So if you can get your hands on that, I would definitely recommend it for one's collection. Now with that, we have reached the end of today's episode. If you have enjoyed this video, then don't forget to leave a like, that would be very much appreciated. And of course, if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe? That would be absolutely awesome. With that, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.